Hey folks, and welcome back to Arcane Assist. This week it's myself, Evan, and John. John's back, showing off some Crucible guard. We've been meaning to do this for quite a while now, but this time we've got the lovely tank lady, Captain Eira, I want to say, MacKay?
Yeah, Eira, MacKay.
Yeah, I got it right.
Yeah.
Nailed it. All right, why don't you walk us through your list and tell us a little bit about what it does?
So this is a list I brought to the OTC recently, about a month ago now. Has MacKay, Alyce, Vulcan, double Vanguards. In this theme, I get +2 inches deployment, and Vanguards have double shield guards. So shooting me off the table is usually not an option. Double Railless Interceptors, Mechanik. Hutchuk, my unit is Alchemist, and I have one unit of the Breath Rocket, the Dragon Breath Rocket. It's basically one big alpha turn, and most of my games that I play, I'm able to do enough work on the alpha turn where they don't have enough to come back and get enough work done to stay in the game.
Yeah, it's a lot of big damage, long-range guns that kind of just blow you up. And it helps that you not only have your caster, who does a lot of work with big guns because she is also riding in a big train tank, but you also have the big train robot with the Vulcan, who else helps put out debuffs like rust and no healing auras, and then he also just can get work done in melee, especially with that feat that boosts your damage. Today, I am bringing Zaadesh2. Haven't played Zaadesh2 in a while, and I figured the kind of classic Double Turtles, Bunch of Beasts list is still good and relevant, and with the changes to the Bronzeback, man, he gets even bigger in this list, because you can throw IR on him, you can throw Unyielding on him, and you can put an Agonizer behind him, and he's just so hard to kill with all of that armor stacking. He goes to armor, 19, 21 with Unyielding, 23 with Inviolable Resolve, and then another -2 for your opponent. So basically armor 25. It's pretty good, especially with the addition of clouds. So that's what I've got. So let's hop right on into the game. All right, John. So I actually won the die roll. I chose to go on the right-hand side of the screen because I didn't want to deal with that big old obstruction splitting up my battle engines and making it life hard for my huge bases to position. You have even more huge bases than I do, so I figured it might hurt your positioning a little bit to go there.
So with this list, going first or second, I'm okay with. Going second, I usually prefer because I can open the SKORNE and do enough damage because it forces you to contest whatever I can score on, so I'm able to, blow that off the table, and sometimes I don't even feat. You want to go second right away. So going first here it's not that much of a problem because I do have mobility, so my jacks are pretty quick. My Vulcan becomes speed 8. Basically all my jacks in my list become speed 8. So my Vulcan can run 16 inches first turn, which is pretty scary, having a Colossus on the middle of the table. My Railless are a little more slower. They're only speed 6, but I basically deploy with MacKay in the middle, Railless in each end, Vulcan beside me, 2 Vanguards, and then my souls throughout. My point is try to get past this house by turn 1, stay outside his threat ranges, and hopefully turn 2 I could feat and see how much damage I can do to this beast heavy list. So that's my plan.
Yeah. Honestly, I knew John had a lot of long-range guns, and while my list typically wants to push really hard forward right out the gates with turn 1, the train cart disrupting where I can go is a bit of a pain, and I want to know where John's going to be able to put his battle engines on the first turn, so I'm feeling pretty good about this going second thing, because I can also contest really easily with the Feralgeist and my Archidon to get into his zone. I can score my flags fairly easily with the Feralgeist as well. John has to either use his feat or put guidance on something in order to get rid of the Feralgeist. So it's a nice little piece.
Yeah, so for this game, I'm probably looking to do attrition over a scenario win right now because for me, scoring flags, it's really hard. I have 3 pieces. 4 pieces if you count Hutchuk, which is pretty good, but those pieces don't survive that well on their own. And for circle zones, I have a caster and a unit of Alchemists to score, so it's not looking like I'm going to score his zone anytime soon. So I feel like this is going to be an attrition game. It's going to be a grindy game, so that's what I'm planning. So I'm planning on being very aggressive turn 1 to try concrete this, like get the board state in my way right away. So basically, Alchemist runs up, 2 of them behind that wall up there, 1 way off to the side. Railless just positions middle of the table, runs 12. Alyce walks, does Harmonious first turn. Based on MacKay, it's mobility for 2 and failsafe for 2, and then return fire, camp 0 or camp 1. I think that works out to be focus 6, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yep, 2, 2, 1, 1, 6. So camp 0 actually first turn, but mobility's 8, repull 3. He can shoot me.
I mean, you're totally safe with this. Like you have 4 shield guards and
possible 4 if I put them all beside MacKay, yes.
Yeah,
but
and also I'm just not gonna do that much damage with guns. It's dice off 4. And even if I roll maximum shots, I'm doing 18 damage.
Yeah, and I took the healing objective and I have a Mechanik, so healing's not a problem for me. So MacKay just walks 8, hands out, return fire to herself, return fire to the Vulcan, and then it's just like, okay, well, stay outside of 13 range. Cause I don't want a random charge on me because then it blocks me. Just stuff like that. So Vulcan's going to run right there. Be basically middle of the table, ready to threaten 13 next turn. That's the melee, and the shooting, he just starts the board. And then I just go and plug the gaps in with some Vanguards in between, have shield guards. My Railless on top of the table is going to run and try to flank as hard as I can for that top flag. It's just going to be me positioning, forcing Evan to give me pieces and hope I don't kill these pieces. Because if I don't kill those pieces, Evan will have a good turn where he's able to come back at me and do a lot more work to me. Because Evan's army hits like a truck in melee. So I need to do as much as I can before they get to me. But I also need to remember countercharge and hyper aggressive. So there's a lot more plays in this list that Evan has I have to be worried about than just shoot and just fall back.
Mm-hmm. It's true. A lot of Zaadesh's turns, I mean, a lot of your opponent's turn for Zaadesh feels like you're still playing your turn. If you've never played this caster or played a caster with something like Battle Charged or Defensive Strike or Hyper Aggressive, this caster has it all. It really feels like you still are engaged on your opponent's turn when you're playing a caster like this, because you have to be. You have to be paying attention for hyper aggressive. You have to be paying attention for counter charge. When they walk into your melee on your feet turn, you get defensive strikes. So you're always still paying attention to the game and feel like you're doing something, even if you're just staring at the board in silence, because the gears are just turning on your opponent's turn. You're like, if they do this, this, and this, I can countercharge here, hyper aggressive here. If they do this, 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 I get a defensive strike. So it's a lot more engaging than just your typical War Machine where you move some models up and hope you're out of threat range and hope they don't kill the things, and you don't really have an interaction there other than marking damage. But with this caster, you're always there. You're always thinking, what's the next thing they're going to do? How do I get my things to trigger? Because you have a lot of setup. Okay, disruption on their turn. And it really, it's really a kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't play style that is pretty fantastic feeling when it works.
And when you play against a caster like this, let's say you're playing in one of those big major cons and it's like round 6, round 7, and you come across a caster like this, it makes me think 10 times more what I can and cannot do, because you have so much interaction on my turn. It forces me to use a lot more power, mind power, and try not to make that one mistake, where if I make one mistake, it could just mess my whole turn up. So I can plan this whole 30-minute assassination out, and all of a sudden I move my model 1 inch too far because I forgot you had to countercharge on this guy who has Pathfinder, whatever. And all of a sudden it's just like, well, there goes that. It's
out.
it's really frustrating when something like that happens, but it's really cool playing against a list like this because it makes you think a lot more and play your game a lot cleaner, because now you're making sure you're outside of countercharge. who has a Force Aura, who has Gnawing Pain. Like, it's just, like,
Exactly.
insane. Like, it's a lot of things you have to worry about.
Yeah.
And that's what Evan's doing right now. Evan's like,
So, just gonna pause you for a second there. You may notice that I just ran the turtle up in front of a bunch of stuff. So, the way I've looked at the table this turn, I've decided that I'm just going to give John pieces because I have more things that can do work than he does. And if he kills those pieces and I preserve the correct ones, then I'm still going to be able to get enough work done that I'm going to be able to swing the attrition in my favor even after his feat turn. So the plan here is this turtle that's gone up is going to be affected by Gnawing Pain. He's going to have Inviolable Resolve, and he's going to be incredibly hard to kill at arm 24 effectively in melee. Now, he isn't in the Force Aura range of that Krea, but the Krea does have Countercharge up, so if he wants to move a Battle Engine in or something like that, I'm probably going to be able to Countercharge into range for Force Aura. Sentry gets Rush, runs in front of the proxy base where this second Krea is going to go. Second Krea charges up, has Force Aura up. I've pre-measured from the proxy base so that both the Turtle and the Sentry are going to be in Force Aura. They're both going to be absurdly high armor against the huge number of guns on John's side of the table. Now, I am almost entirely anticipating to lose both turtles here. The Arm 24 one is on the fence, but the point of that is just to make John expend so many resources trying to kill it that he doesn't have resources to put into my beasts. The other turtle on the table that's towards the bottom side that doesn't have Inviolable Resolve is likely to die to just a Battle Engine and a Vanguard, but if John doesn't put those resources into it, then it's not going to die. The Sentry is likely to survive on what John's got to put into it. Because if John puts the Battle Engine and the Vanguard into the Sentry, then I still have a turtle. And a turtle's a bit more of a threat to him at this point because of how close I am to MacKay and how deep I can really go on his turn. So it's about giving up pieces to trade up very heavily in the way I'm playing this game. I haven't feated, but I do have Battle Charge up, and because of the theme, everything has hyper-aggressive. So now it's John's turn, and this is how much planning goes into your turn now, because it's going to take you like 5 minutes before you even start your turn, because you're debating whether or not you want to put Hutchuk on the board.
Yeah, so like, I was not expecting you to run your turtles. I was expecting you to stay outside my threats. Maybe force me to charge my Vulcan in that turtle, which then just gets countercharged by everything and just dies. Or take a whole round of shooting, which, you know, my shooting against you it's good, but it's not great because of the Force Aura. So, like, I don't actually give shield guards. So, like, I actually can't shoot a turtle off the table unless I put, like, 3 or 4 battle engine into it.
So, the Force Aura is very critical in this game.
100%.
Because your battle engines are only Rat 6 and they don't have any way of boosting. Yes. And putting my battle engines up to Def 12 with Force Aura actually means you can miss them quite frequently.
It means I need to activate MacKay first, shoot the flare, take it back down to 10.
Yeah.
But then that means MacKay's way up the table. Like, it's just, that's what I thought you were going to do and force me to, you know, 1 round of shooting and then you come up again. And then I'll feat and go try to kill everything. And then it would be like a back and forth thing. And by then you'll probably be up in the scenario. But then you just decided to jam. And I'm just like, what do I do? This is not what I expected. This is not what... No players have actually jammed me into this list. I've also never played this aggressive. I usually play back and make sure you can like run and engage. But I really wanted to, you know, get table presence versus your list. Because if I don't, I feel like I'm behind on that. So now I'm like, what can I do? I gotta watch all these counter charges. I gotta watch all these shield guards. I gotta watch. I'm like, if I move this battle engine up 6 and do sprays, does it catch this guy on the other side of the forest? It does not, because it's not 3 inches. I'm just like, oh man, like this is going to be one hell of a turn.
Yeah, I'd like to note this Agonizer placement is beautiful.
Oh my god,
it is behind a cloud, behind a turtle, and behind a forest. So it's just incredibly hard to get to unless you want to commit your caster.
My caster has to basically stay where she is, turn it, and spray. So I almost have to feat this turn now. I don't think I kill this turtle if I don't feat, because my Vanguards will do nothing to it. Shooting it at Arm 24 right now is, or Arm 22. It's dice off 7, the big gun, and dice off 8 on the other guns, not boosted, so that does nothing. So I have to feat. I'm also debating, do I send my caster in? Do I shoot the Withering for? Like, it's a lot of things. I did ambush, by the way. Hutchuk did go on the bottom of the table. That's where he will be going. One plan I have in my head, because he has a shield guard down here, which also has a counter charge, is I'm going to use the Alchemists to stationary your shield guard in the zone there, so you can't countercharge me, because that's one thing that was in my way. Because if I moved anything towards that turtle, it gets countercharged by that damn thing. So I need to think of what I can do here. So, like, you know, I'm like, okay, this Alchemist can get in your back arc. I'm like, wait a second, Evan, I'm not done. I want to make sure I'm outside of 6 of this guy, but still within 6 of the range outside the back arc. So, like, it's just like all this time, and I just started my turn, and it's been like 8 minutes of me trying to plan this. So now, guys, you know, hit him 3 times. Well, I need 4 as a hit.
Yeah, it's not hard to stationary the Sentry.
Cool. That's one less thing I need to worry about countercharging right now. And one less thing that my battle engine can maybe deal with, or maybe doesn't need to deal with. Now I'm trying to wither your turtle. I decided to wither the turtle in the middle of the table. It's easier to kill already. I just made it a little easier. I missed the withering shot. Okay, cool, but it's AoE4, so drifting off it's pretty hard. Took some POW 10s. I think did very little damage to it. MacKay's now going, and MacKay's going to basically walk up and feet.
Mm-hmm. And I'd like to note how incredibly important that order of activations was for you, because if you shoot the Withering first, you instead hit the Sentry and probably damage it.
Yep.
And then it hyper-aggressives
100%.
into the Vanguard.
That's
and
why
then we're there now.
That's why the first move on my turn had to be stationary the shield guard.
Exactly.
So I can kill this turtle in the middle of the table. Now you got a 6-inch out there because I'm making sure I stay outside of all counter charges. But remember, I want to get my Railless on that turtle as well. So I need to make sure when I repo away, I'm also not within 6 inches and I can fit a large base there.
It'd be especially bad if a Bronzeback countercharged your caster, yes.
So I'm like, I need to do more measuring and more placements. And well, this is why I bring 4 large proxy bases, or huge proxy bases with me to this.
Mm-hmm.
With this.
So you're feeding, and MacKay's getting into melee with this turtle.
Yep.
And man, she thrashes this
Oh man,
thing.
she's POW 15, man, boosted. You know, you're withered, so
it's dice off 5 for most of these, I want to say. You still just like crush it as if none of the debuffs were there.
I'm a 7, you are a 10. I hit. Basically anything but to hit, right? Melee and.
Yep, anything but in melee, but I'm actually def 12 against the guns, so you know what? The rolling the hit actually matters.
Yeah, I missed 1 or 2 sprays throughout my turn, my battle engines this turn because you know the Krea aura, it matters, it's huge. So here I go. I'm gonna roll a lot of dice. Like I've always said, if you just roll dice, eventually you're going to do enough damage, or you'll hit, and things will happen. Right? This is a list where you need to take chances, and when you take chances, things will work out. So like the Krea's already on like 8 boxes with 2 sprays. Like I've hit the Krea with POW 10 sprays. Its turtle is already 3/4 dead. Like it's like 10 boxes left just from MacKay right now.
MacKay rolled a wee bit above average.
MacKay leaves him on 5 boxes, but I'm still have 1 focus. I'm now thinking to myself, I'm like, I take a free strike, I repo out. I'm like, no, I want to buy. I hit, and I do 10 exactly, which is off 5, and I kill it to the box.
Yep. So MacKay solos a turtle.
I can't run a gun. I did not kill it with my guns. I killed it with my melee, unfortunately. So I had to repo just to where I had my placement before. This actually frees up a Vanguard and a Railless where they were supposed to go on that turtle and do work because I didn't think MacKay was going to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Not 100% sure what I'm going to do with them. Because now I got to rethink my plans. Watch counter charge, watch this counter charge. I'm just like, crap. So now I'm measuring for this Bronzeback. Make sure to counter charge a Vanguard when I go in. So I'm going to move this Vanguard. This one doesn't have any focus. It's basically just going to walk. It will be in countercharge range. I offered it to Evan.
So I did not take this countercharge. Reason being, I don't want to die to the battle engine. And this turn, again, the Bronzeback's already in threat range of everything. I don't need to extend the threat on that. Vanguard's not a priority target for me to kill. And odds are I miss with my charge attack because of set defense.
It's really bad where MacKay is right now. So this turtle needs to go, and I need to get something in between my caster and your heavy.
Yeah.
And the plan was actually just to walk the Railless up, shoot something, and then run a gun and put the place there. So you have to kill battle engine before you get to my caster. You know, it's a little more work. It's doable with your list, but like, I feel like that's what my plan was. So I know there's 15 or 14 on his melee weapon right now, the Vanguard, and it's boosted because of my feet. He only did 2-point damage.
Still, the next Vanguard comes in.
The problem is this is the problem. We talked afterwards. I should have withered this one, and not the one in the middle of the table. If I withered this one, it would have made it a little easier to kill.
Yeah, I mean, like it's hard to say because, like, you still have a lot to put into that bottom one, but this actually frees up a lot of options for you because you can still go into a Bronzeback with this Railless on the bottom, or you can just like kill an entire unit of beast handlers with one gunshot, stuff like that. This Vanguard does a little bit of damage to the turtle, and then I believe it's on to you spend some time debating on what your order of activations with the Railless up top and the Vulcan will be.
I'm trying to figure out if my Railless can go in, do enough damage with his bottom Railless. Both Railless is basically going to shoot this turtle. Would it be enough damage to kill it? The answer is no, because of IR plus a whole bunch of other shit, and also all my sprays will hit my Vanguards as I do this, so like it could be really bad for me. Because if I could free up this turtle or kill this turtle, my Vulcan can just walk up and pound on your heavy.
Yep.
Which would basically, if I kill that heavy, I think it really seals the game, or seals, I wouldn't say the game, but it seals like the conquering me doing something on my feet. It feels like, okay, now I'm ahead. Where if I don't kill this turtle, if my realizes and I have to use my Vulcan to kill the turtle, now I feel like I'm behind because I have this big heavy that I haven't touched that can kill basically the world. So I can't charge because the lane, the Vulcan's where the proxy base is on the table, and the lane for me to charge doesn't work. So I decided, like, you know what? I have to kill this thing with my Vulcan, and now I have to use my Railless to move up, do the run and gun, and get where the turtle is with basically block the charge lane.
Yeah.
So Vulcan's POW 19.
Yep. So it's I'm effectively armed 24. So your dice off 5, but every attack is boosted.
But like even average dice don't kill it, and I'm like, this is gonna be tough.
Yeah, average dice, just the Vulcan don't kill it. It leaves it on 5 boxes. I mean,
but I've done 5 boxes, right?
It leaves us on 5 boxes after those already. So you should do 25 damage. I currently have 30 boxes on the turtle. Yeah. And then also you still have a Railless left, so that should totally just do it. Except
I missed.
You miss 1 attack with the Vulcan.
Yeah, which basically now puts it at I need to do 12 over.
It makes it much worse.
And I think I leave you on 11.
Yes, you leave me on 11 boxes. So about what we talked about, like you did.
No, leave you on 10. Leave you on 10.
Yeah.
So that 1 extra attack would have left you on 5, like
exactly.
on average. So I've done average. I missed attack. I spiked a bit. You know, like.
Yeah.
But it's not where I want to be. I'm definitely now on my feet turn behind. Like I am now like panicking to get rid of this turtle. So I'm like, well, my Railless can't charge. So now it has to shoot you. And the shitty thing about this shooting you is no matter what, where I go, I'm going to get countercharged by 2 things, and that means he's going to get the Krea aura.
Yes. So here's where what I was talking about earlier. This Railless wants to come in. It's also going to make my turtle +2 armor because this Krea is going to get to countercharge in such a way that now the turtle's in Force Aura.
I couldn't avoid it. I could have sat back, but then I lose a spray, and like I just feel like if I sit back, I can't run again and go where the turtle is.
Yep.
I need to run again and go where the turtle is.
I also get the Archidon in the back arc.
Yeah.
Because Archidon
Why wouldn't you?
near the clock just is there. And then you start making some sprays. You
And I
actually
miss.
miss the turtle with your first spray and hit your own Vanguard.
Yep. Because now you're defense 12. So now it's going to be a problem. I'm like, well, this is a problem. So I'm now rolling some dice. It's just a whole bunch of sprays. Like on her, like this list has 2, 4, 6, 8 spray 10s, 3 spray 8s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 range 14, POW 15 guns. There's a lot of guns in this list. A lot of sprays that happen. Rat 6 though is their crushing point.
It's true. Being Rat 6 is brutal. They can do so much damage though. Like against a low defense, high armor army, like you just blow them off the table.
My Railless did a total of 5 points, or maybe 8 points to you.
Mm-hmm.
It leaves you on 2 boxes in the end. I missed 2 attacks with it. Leave you 2 boxes. I'm just putting the Scalers in play now. MacKay and my Railless leaves 1. Yeah, he's on 2 boxes. And I don't have much more. I could shoot you with my far Railless and hope for the best. But I'm like, well, what do I have left here? So I'm like trying to figure out if I can do any damage. This dice off so much. Like
It's armor 24. It is a stupid number. You repo in such a way.
just to have both of you in my
Back up.
arcs and both of you in my arcs. So if you try to move away or anything, you take a free strike. And it doesn't really do anything right now because I already know like if I don't kill this turtle, MacKay's dead. Like MacKay, it doesn't really matter. MacKay's dead right now, I think, because I can't run a gun either. So I'm like, well, I have a Mechanik. Just dice off 14. I need to do 16 to kill a turtle.
Yep. Charge with Mechanics.
Let's do it.
Is the Mechanic gonna kill a turtle?
He hits.
He hits. Not the hard part.
No damage.
No damage.
Yeah. So I have a Railless and oh yeah. By the way, at the start of the turn, I did change Alyce into Big Alyce.
Oh yeah, she's there.
It's I've been doing it a lot with this list. Basically, I use it first turn to cast mobility and failsafe for very cheap and hand out to return fires.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it gives me another hitting power on my feet turn. Especially after like it's withered or something. Big Alyce goes into POW 14, dice off 7, even, and still does only like 8 points or 5 points of damage or something like that. It's like
very little. To
very
the
little,
Sentry.
but it's another solo in the way. I'm just trying to figure out things where I'm like, okay, what can I do to not die? And even at this point now, if I kill this turtle, all he has to do is kill my Mechanik, and he gets his heavy on me. So like I'm already like I can't fill that gap. I'm already like, oh my gosh, I'm already I'm in panic mode. I'm just kind of kill what I can. Roll some dice. I hit I missed your. Oh yeah,
You
missed
the
damn
turtle with the big gun
with a big gun, which I had to hit to kill it.
and scatters off completely.
Scatters off and lands on my 2
Vanguards.
Vanguards.
Does nothing.
So I have a turtle engaged with MacKay right now. Can't mean 0. At this point, I already know like MacKay is going to die to a turtle or die to a heavy or something like that. I'm like, well, this is not going well. Let's see what I could do. I tried to spray. I hit your War Beast. I missed the other War Beast. I hit my Big Alyce, and I just killed Big Alyce. I rolled like 665 on the damage, or 6-6 on the damage roll.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
you
you
box.
kidding me?
Yeah, you just annihilate Alyce.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm going to keep shooting the other things, see what I can do.
Although, funny enough, with this series of shots, you cripple the spirit on the Sentry, so it's stationary and cannot shake.
Yes. So it's not doing anything next turn, which is cool. I kill the Krea, which is also another bonus to me. But the top side of the table is not looking good with that turtle just kind of chilling there. And like my game plan was not. I did not plan for Evan just to jam me with a turtle, right? So like I ran aggressively just to be like, okay, cool, I'll control the middle of the table. And Evan just like countered it and was like, cool, I'll just run aggressively, and if you can't kill me, I kill you. And that's what you have to do with this against MacKay. If you're playing against MacKay, you need to not play passive and not. You need to be aggressive and force me to make the rolls. If I fail a roll or two and it just like backfires on me, that's the game.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of that, and also doing this kind of move really inhibits the movement you have with your list. You have 4 huge bases. It's hard to maneuver. Like, you had to do this weird, awkward, like, walk around the Vulcan thing with the top Railless.
Yeah.
And now, like, even if that Railless just gets to live there, it's way out of position. Even if you kill this turtle and I don't get to kill MacKay, the Bronzeback kills the Vulcan and the Archidon kills the Railless. And then we play a can your 2 battle engines kill my 4 heavies, right?
Yep.
It's you have to kill so much on your feet turn in order to make it work. And I mean, often you do.
No, yeah, more like 90% of my games, I do more than enough damage I need to do. Even rolling below average dice, like there's times where I'm just rolling dice and it's just like, all right, we'll see what happens. And like, when you do a spray 10, and you're hitting like 10 models under a spray 10 over and over and over, you're going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's a lot of infantry games I play with MacKay, and it's just like, it's really good.
Okay, so here's my turn. My original, so I move up, I enrage both the Bronzeback and the Gladiator. My original plan is Gladiator's going to slam these 2 Vanguards into each other, knock them both down. The turtle can move out of the way for the Bronzeback, and then the Bronzeback can go in and charge MacKay if the turtle doesn't kill it by itself. Gladiator misses entirely. All right, fine. Gladiator's just going to punch this Vanguard a bunch. Ends up killing it in the end, which is great because it means 1 less free strike for the turtle. And then I go to activate the turtle afterwards, and I realize that none of that matters because I can just stand where I am, and I'm in 2 Scather templates and have 2 boxes.
Yeah.
So if I just make all my attacks and fail to kill MacKay, the turtle dies, which cleans out a lane for me.
Yeah.
For the Bronzeback to just charge.
So he's in 1 Scather. He has to move into another to take 1 point of damage because one like fell off of it. So he moves into 1, so he goes down 1 point, and the turtle fails to kill MacKay.
Then a Bronzeback
comes in and finishes off. So like yeah, it was rough. It was a good game. It was fun. Like I haven't played into a beast brick like this before. Yeah,
it's certainly been a while.
Yeah, it has been.
So yeah, turtle goes in. Turtle makes a bunch of attacks. I think kills MacKay to the box or something like that.
Dice +1.
It's close, but he gets there.
He kills by 2. Kills her by 2. I was on my 9 boxes and he did 11 on the last roll. But either way, like, yeah, after like a failed feat turn like that, this is what happens in this list. If you don't get enough done, you are. It's over. Like you're over because like your rest of your turn is, or the rest of the game, even if you have another game, is pretty bad.
It's certainly difficult. I mean, against like melee centric lists that don't have a lot of mobility or guns, it's pretty easy for you because you can just back up, shoot.
Well, in this list, I didn't have any much opportunities to trigger run and gun.
It's true,
right? I couldn't kill something and then run 6 inches away, or if usually I have mobility up even and I go 8 inches away, right? So like it's like unfortunately I can't do that in this list because of all the heavies and all like even a light trying to kill a light under guns with force aura and all that stuff. It's not the easiest thing.
Yeah, I mean it's against like super uber armor SKORNE lists probably not ideal. Like, but against basically any Immortals list except for Zaadesh2, you crush that.
Yeah. So like
MacKay 3 in Immortals,
you
blow it off the
we've
table.
done that, yes.
We have done that. Any non-armor buffed something, like MacKay 3 just gets annihilated in either theme.
Yeah, I played MacKay 3 at the OTC twice, and he thought it would be a good drop, and I just...
It's not.
Unfortunately, it's not when I have, like, rust off my big guns.
You don't even need rust to
kill
Immortals.
No, but it's still like I have rust, which it makes it easier. The downside is always trying to hit. But like I have MacKay that has a flare, and whenever I target, I make sure I feat with the flare.
How was your circle matchup?
I played a few times. Also OTC. Played Windworm and Iona.
Wormwood.
Yeah. And Iona.
Turns out the tree can't move, which is really good for shooting at.
The tree's amazing, but one thing that was really amazing in that matchup was I ice caged the caster who was like within blast radius of Cassius. So then they were both stationary, and you can't arc through a stationary arc node. So then he couldn't use Stranglehold at all unless he wanted to bring his caster within 10 of my shit.
Yeah, that's bad.
And then trying to hit armor 19, like it's not the easiest thing to do. So like that was a cool play, but I was able to, like in that list, I was able to I just played back and made him come to me, and I just shot whatever was outside the forest on his feed turn, and then the following up I feeded and just killed everything. Also, I know too in the Throne list, I feel like it's just like it's a bad matchup for the Circle player. I played it a few times now, and I haven't really had any issues. Going first or second is good with it. Table is the problem because like you guys are
forests are pretty important.
Yeah, forest is huge for you guys. So there's like a lot of forests on the table. It's really hard for my battle engines to get around it. But all depends on scenario. So like, I guess it's not a bad matchup. I guess it's just more of a scenario table presence matchup. And if you have the table, I feel like you guys might be able to pull it off in scenario because you have more models than me. But if you don't have anything that threatens my battle engines, like outside my guns, I can walk 6, spray 10 at 16-inch threat, and then repull 3 away. So now I'm 13 inches away from you guys. So if I trigger Vengeance, yes, you can kill me. But like I'm going to kill the guys that are within Vengeance wave. Right?
Yeah.
So you're not going to get me. So I'm going to have 2 turns of doing this before you get to me. And that's how I've been playing my list matchups. And that's where I'm at with it. Right? And MacKay is in my pairing right now. And going up to the Sioux, it's Sylvester, MacKay, and then I'm adding Baldwin for the trio for the Masters.
Yeah.
And then for the what's the other one?
Champions?
The champions is Baldwin and Sylvester. And with Sylvester, it has to be 2 different themes, right? So now I have Baldwin in the Merc theme and Sylvester on the Jack theme. So it's going to be something different.
Cool. I think that's about it for us, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next Monday.